This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young on ESPN Radio 94.1.
Hope you're enjoying this Labor Day weekend. Back here on the program with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. And Ed, we got a special guest joining us here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk. He is a first-team All-Region 5A and All-Beach District performer from a season ago. 71 tackles, 18 for loss, and 9 sacks for the Salem Sun Devils, who won the Beach District crown, got to the Region 5A championship, 12-1 overall for them. And he picked yesterday the Air Force Academy over nearly 20 other offers. We say hello and congrats to Isaiah Henderson out there here. Isaiah, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great. Thank you for joining us. How strange is it waking up here on a Saturday in September and it's not after a football game?
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate.
Tell me about what you miss most about not having the Friday night lights here. I know there's hope for it to take place come February for all you high school football athletes here in Virginia. What do you miss most?
I just miss being out there with my brothers, strapping up and going to get a W.
Now, we'll get to your recruiting here in a moment, but tell me about these last few months, how you've stayed sharp with your game and kind of how you've, even before we get to your decision of Air Force, tackled the recruiting process, given you can't take the official visits and the normal things that come with it.
Yes, sir. So I've just been training independently. Also, we can't train with the schools or anything. So also like at P&DO Gym or Coach John Burden, who was at Virginia Tech, he's came back and started an athletic training program. So I've been with him. And recruiting-wise, it's just been a lot of virtual visits and FaceTime calls and with coaches, with college coaches and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Isaiah, Coach Young here. Being a teacher, I got to ask you, let's get off the field. How has it been? Let's go back to the spring. You had to do virtual learning, and then now we're getting ready to start here Tuesday, and it's going to be virtual again, at least the first 9 weeks. As a student, let's take football out of the picture completely. Apprehensions, how do you feel about all that?
When we started it all, like you said, back in spring, I thought I was going to enjoy it, not having to wake up early to go to school and all that, but the more I did it and stuff, I realized that I much rather prefer to be in the building, learning in front of a teacher in a classroom. So, yeah. I think, Isaiah, and you can answer this too as a student, I think as a teacher, almost for 40 years, I kind of like that idea too, getting up a little bit later. I mean, though we still had to teach, so to speak, we still had to correct papers, all that, and make sure everybody was doing what they're supposed to. But there was a feeling like summer break was starting early, and it was a relaxed mode. I think it's put a better perspective on kind of how important the teaching is and getting in front of a teacher. And I'm just wondering if the youngsters such as yourself understand now that, hey, we took that for granted and we kind of cut up and this and that. You know what? It's important to pay attention and try to get this education. Yes, sir.
So that you would rather be in the classroom than virtual?
Yes, sir, I would.
Okay, now let me ask you, well, how's your GPA?
I have a 3.0 overall GPA.
Good. So you're up there now. Any idea what you might want to major in?
Since I'm going to be at Air Force, it's a little different from, a normal university.
Yes.
So I'll be doing something in like general studies or like the logistics side of things.
Can we ask why Air Force over everybody else?
To me, this decision was bigger than football, and football ends for everybody someday, whether you make it to the NFL or not. If you make it to the NFL, you're not guaranteed to stay in the NFL, or you get hurt in college and you can't make it to the NFL. The backup plan that they can guarantee you at Air Force, no other school can offer you that. You're guaranteed a job, and you're guaranteed a high salary from the day you graduate from the Air Force Academy.
Well put. We're talking with Isaiah Henderson, the standout from Salem High School in Virginia Beach for Sean Wilson Sun Devils. It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on ESPN Radio 94.1. Part of that ferocious defense from a season ago with Anwar Sparrow and Zamarian Harrell and that crew. We'll get into that in a little bit here on ESPN Radio 94.1. And Isaiah, you told me an interesting story a little bit yesterday over the exchange there on the text, and we'll put it up on virginiapreps.com later in the story. You mentioned it with Coach Young there about just the life after football that's available to you, but also the coaching staff at the Air Force made you feel wanted, and really the scheme is also very similar to what you play at Salem, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit more about that in regards to other schools and how much that love mattered to you here during this time where you really can't have that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, so like I was saying, most schools I'll hear from one or two coaches from the school, and that's all. But with Air Force, 10-plus coaches would text me on the regular, not just defensive coaches, it would be offensive coaches, the head coach. You know, I heard from them so much and from so many people, I knew that they really wanted me at that program. And, like, for the scheme-wise, they run a very similar to what I run at Salem, where if we're in a 3-4 on defense, I'm at linebacker. We go to a 4-3, I walk down a defensive end. And that's the same thing that the Air Force Academy runs. So it fits perfect for me.
Now, Air Force Academy is out there in Colorado, pretty far away. How much did the distance matter to you, and what's your family think about it?
You know, I never would have thought that I would be living in Colorado. So it was definitely interesting to be going out there, and I've never even been out there. But I've looked up pictures and videos and all that, and it looks pretty cool, so I'm excited.
A lot of people don't realize that that's a pretty consistent program out there in the Mountain West. They've had, I think, 3 double-digit win seasons in the last 6 years. Coach Troy Calhoun led them to a bowl victory over a nationally ranked team. I mean, did the success they have as a program also appeal to you a good deal?
Yes, sir, it definitely did. Last year, I believe they went 11-2. So not only do I feel like I'll fit in the program, it's also a winning program.
Well, you're playing for a winning program right now at Salem High School. Last year with Anwar Sparrow, who's now at Syracuse playing linebacker. Zamarion Harrell's a top recruit, much like yourself. I mean, you guys were smothering a year ago. Shut out 8 of your first 11 foes and allowed just 22 points in that stretch through 11 games, which is remarkable. Ranks up there with the best to ever come from in this area. I mean, it's easy to say, well, they got good players, good coaches, but what made it all click for you guys?
I think our brotherhood, we're all a very close team. And we do a lot of things together outside of football, like hanging out with each other, going to each other's houses, and then we all work out together all the time. So I feel like that chemistry we have really helped us.
Did you know it could be as special as it was from a stat-dominant standpoint, or was it a while for you to kind of recognize, wow, we're doing something pretty unique here?
Well, ever since I came in my freshman year, we've been pretty much winning all the time. So at this point, it doesn't really shock me too much. That's what I expect from our program, to just keep winning games.
Isaiah, I see you playing some of that defensive line position, some linebacker. What kind of excites you more, getting in there for the sack or staying back on that one-arm tackle, that breakup of that pass, that possible interception?
I definitely love having my hand in the dirt at DN. When I came into high school, I was a little too small to start at a DN, so they had moved me to linebacker. So before high school, I never played linebacker. But I'm definitely more comfortable and much more excited to play that DN spot.
Anybody, maybe pros or in your life that you kind of model yourself after on the field?
I just like to say J.J. Watt. I just like his style.
That's a good one to pick. I mean, that's a guy that he's in the backfield a lot, and you really got to put, most of the time, you got to put 2 people on him.
Yes, sir.
And that's the type of, if you could become that type of athlete, and you're taking 2 people on top, you're going to open it up for your teammates.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the coaches you've had in their development with you. I mean, you can tell us about Coach Sean Wilson and the staff there at Salem High School. And I even know when you were a younger tyke out there, you loved Coach Bruce Pearl, our buddy, and the Mustangs out there. Tell us about what those guys have done for you.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Coach Bruce Pearl and that whole Mustangs program has been phenomenal. They helped me and my family out so much, and they opened up so many doors for me. And, you know, I think that program really made my football career take off. And then going to Salem High School, I got to meet some more great coaches who helped me and developed me throughout these years. So I'll be ready for college.
I got to ask you, I hope I'm not taking one of Matt's questions from Rapid Fire, but favorite pro football team?
New York Giants.
So you hope someday to put on a Giant uniform?
Yes, sir. That's the goal.
There you go.
And, of course, they had a great defender from somewhat the area out in Williamsburg, Lawrence Taylor, years ago. You ever hear about Lawrence Taylor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Most of you youngsters don't remember those guys from the past, but Lawrence Taylor was a factor on that field.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure he's probably played with them as Madden in the Madden game, right? You're a Madden guy, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I don't play too much video games, but yes.
What? Hold on. High school kid that just said he don't play. I thought I was the dinosaur that don't play video games. What's up with that? Why not, Isaiah?
It's not productive. So I could be out there working out, doing something like that, instead of, you know, a lot of people just sit in front of a screen and play all day. And it's just, one, it's not too fun for me, and 2, it's not very productive. So
wow,
that's what.
Wow, man, I want to. We got to record that. I'm going to play that to my players. It's a high school kid telling you guys it's not productive. Nobody could say better than that.
Well, I'm sure it's music to the parents and the coaches' ears. A few more minutes here with Isaiah Henderson of Salem High School in Virginia Beach, defensive end, outside linebacker, all-region performer, headed to the Air Force at 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on ESPN Radio 94.1. We'll finish with some fun rapid fire for Isaiah before we let him run here. As a competitor, you think more about the 12 wins and the great nights last year or the one loss, the heartbreaker to Maury in the region finals from last year?
Definitely the one loss, because last year it came my sophomore year. We played them in the same game, and they won by just a field goal. So we knew that next year we were going to have it, and then it was even worse loss. So that really took a toll on us.
I'm guessing you're going to play this coming season for the if we have it there in the late winter, early spring. Is that your thought right now, or are you undecided at the moment?
I think I'm going to play. I've talked with the Air Force coaches, but it's kind of up in the air right now. But I think I will play.
Okay. What's going to be pivotal in that decision-making process for you?
We're just trying to figure out like what the exact timeline of me playing is, because with me going to school in June and us playing in February, March, we don't want any injuries or anything like that, because when I get to Colorado, I want to be ready to go.
Sure, that's understandable. Well, assuming you do end up playing for the team this coming year as a senior, what are the things you're focusing on from a leadership standpoint and just individual game standpoint to try to take that team the next level there and get to the state championship game?
I feel like we have lost a lot of players in these past 2 seasons. So the biggest thing is getting the younger guys to step up and just work on communication as a team so we can really dominate this year.
Last one for me, then I'll flip it over to Coach here, and we'll do rapid fire with Isaiah, and we appreciate you coming on this morning. If someone puts on the highlight tape, I know Coach is over there Googling Isaiah Henderson huddle. What do you want Coach and others out there that are listening to this to recognize from your highlight tape and you as a football player?
The 2 things for me, it would be my versatility. I line up at different positions. And second thing, you're going to see me get after that quarterback.
Well, Isaiah, my thing would be I really want to get into this rapid fire because I'm stuck on this. I'm not productive playing video games. You blew me away on that comment. I have never heard a high school student make that comment about video games, and I always thought I was the weird one not doing anything with video, because I got a 4-year-old niece who kicks my butt every time in NBA live, like 207-5, and just laughs.
Ooh. She must have it on the sliders for her to beat you pretty well. Well, you ready for some rapid fire, Isaiah?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Best TV show or movie you've seen during the pandemic?
Oh, I don't really watch TV either.
Really?
No, sir.
No movies?
No, not really.
Okay, well, give me this then. How about we'll switch up the first question. What's besides training and preparing and playing football, what's Isaiah Henderson's favorite hobby?
I would just say playing like a 7-on-7 game, or pick up basketball game, or go paintballing. I do a lot of that stuff with all my friends. So.
Bowling, all right. When we get from this pandemic era, maybe we'll have you go against Coach in bowling. It'll be a great little bowling contest there. A few more for you. Here we go. You a morning or night person?
Morning.
All right. Toughest dude you've had to tackle in high school would be who?
Kaylon Black.
Your former teammate who's now with the Dukes of JMU. He's one of the best running backs we've seen here lately, and Salem's had some great ones over the years. You think of Kevin Whaley and Devontae Williams and Kaylon Black, certainly right there with that great company. All right. Trade places with one person in the world. Who you picking?
Ooh, I wouldn't trade with anybody.
Nobody?
No, sir.
Okay. Visit
my own journey.
What's that?
I'm creating my own journey.
Okay. Visit one place in the world. Where would you go?
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora. Okay, I've never been there. Last one, then we'll let you do some shout-outs. Would you rather fight one bear or 100 squirrels?
100 squirrels.
100 squirrels. There you have it. Coach would fight a bear. He fights bears from time to time. All right. Thank you, Isaiah, for coming on the program this morning. We wish you all the best this coming year at Salem High School in Virginia Beach, and certainly beyond that at the Air Force Academy. Before we let you run, any shout-outs you want to give out there to the people listening?
No, thank you. Just thank you for everybody who supported me on this journey.
Hey, great job, and we'll talk to you soon. You be well, okay?
Yes, sir. You too.
Good luck to you, Isaiah.
Thank you.
Isaiah Henderson, a talented young man and well-spoken young man there from Salem High School in Virginia Beach, defensive end, outside linebacker, headed to the Air Force Academy here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. He picked the squirrels over the bear.
You know, that question just blew my mind. I had never heard that one.
Your mind's been blown this morning.
I'll tell you what, that kid said nothing's productive playing video games.
Well, that's a good answer.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
How come the rest of these knuckleheads don't say that?
Well, I don't know. Well, you are off to go find your Serbian 7-footer, the mind-blown Ed Young, I guess.
Yeah, I hate to leave, but I've got to do this recruiting thing.
We'll just make you have to get the breakfast next week, and we like chicken biscuits and we like donuts.
I tell you what, though, I'm just hoping that Dino's contract was more than a one-time appearance. I don't know.
If you're bringing the chicken and the biscuits, they'll be here.
I got to go see what his fine print says.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Ed. I do miss when you used to bring those biscuits in on Saturday mornings. They were always so good.
That means I've got to bring some more biscuits in.
Go find the Serbian and go find the biscuits, and we'll send you.
I'll definitely be here next Saturday if we have biscuits involved.
There you go.
Well, I tell you, now we're bribing him.
We just extended his contract to 10 days, 10-day contract, like all those guys that used to not the bubble now, but you get the point.
I'm holding a sign up. I work for food.
There's a lot of people doing that these days. We'll come on back with hour 2 of 757 Saturday Sports Talk, which includes Ed's former JV coach, now the new head man at Deep Creek, Craig Frost. But coming up next, it'll be Chuck Culpepper of the Washington Post to talk some ponies and some football. Coming your way on ESPN Radio 94.1.